Okay, welcome back to Fox Reports. This is the pre-match review for tomorrow's fixture tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time against Liverpool. Will this be the final nail to the coffin for us? Now, over the past hours or yesterday, results have not come in our favor anymore. Nottingham Forest got a draw at Stamford Bridge. They're at 34 points now, practically safe. Leeds surprisingly get a point against Newcastle. Who would have thought? And it's not, yeah, like I said, we're not getting those results that favor us anymore. All those chances have gone. We didn't know how to take advantage of those chances and get the wins that we needed. And now it's all going downhill. Now it's up to us to get a result tomorrow against Liverpool, a team that has not lost or has not lost, stayed undefeated undefeated since April 1st. Um, we're playing at the KP. It's going to be one. I don't even know how to describe it anymore. I don't know what the outcome may be because against Fulham, we played a much weaker side than we played last time out at the KP, and we still lost by more goals. Ants, how's it going, man? Big up, mate. Yeah, we'll have to see. But we're all gonna be quite intrigued to see what happens tomorrow. I presumably cannot predict anything based off our last match against Fulham. I don't know what to say. But guys, if you haven't watched Ant's Leicester fan channel, check it out. Great match vlogs as well as discussions that he does. So check out his channel. Morning, man. I've gone for 4-3 Liverpool. I know a lot of us. I know a lot of goals. Yeah, it could be a lot of goals. Certainly, it depends on how we line up ourselves, the formation, and the right players that actually will be playing to actually try and keep us with some chance to stay in the Premier League. Because last match, there were certain players that were not giving anything, didn't even care. And lately, the discussion has been with the players, saying that they care, but not really, are going to leave, all that stuff, Chester, Leicester, Plymouth, and go next season of the KP. I know that reality is getting much more real and real every single day. Leicester for life, who will probably lose. Yeah, I've seen a lot of fans hating on Everson for the first goal. The game wasn't his fault. He just needed to pay attention. Yeah, certainly a lot of things played a part in the match against Fulham. Just our heads weren't there. Our heads weren't there. The hype was there for no reason because we didn't show anything. We didn't show that we were actually trying to win the match. Like I said, it was a much weaker Fulham side compared to the other time we played at the KP. If we lose, we're down, not at paper, but basically, yeah, that will be much more certain depending on what the result will be today against Everton and Man City. Now, Man City play Real Madrid in 72 hours after their match today. So will they go all out against Everton today, or will they reserve their starters for their next Champions League fixture against Real Madrid? Hopefully they go all out because a win for Everton presumably will have to mean that we need to beat Liverpool and Newcastle, and either or, if we lose any of those two matches, we're out. We're out. Mathematically, we're out. Yeah. If anything, I have to see what the match how the end result will be for Everton and Man City. But Forest, they're practically safe. They're safe. Do you think we could get something against West Ham? That's what I'm thinking. I think if we have to get something against either Liverpool tomorrow or Newcastle, and I think West Ham will give us, that free pass to go ahead and get 3 points on the final day. But we have to get something either tomorrow or against Newcastle. Yes, Barnes is he's just not a consistent player, honestly. And if we do stay up and these players leave, I wouldn't be too opposed to them leaving because Barnes, as much as he has shown great great play and had great moments. He just hasn't been consistent enough, and it just isn't right. It just isn't in the. It just wouldn't feel necessary to keep him because we don't want a player who's not consistent, who just isn't consistent. Even a draw, you think a point won't do anything. We'd probably go down. At this point, right now we're facing Leeds and Everton for that relegation spot. Like I said, I think Forest have already secured their safety. It's now against Leeds and Everton to see what the results may be. And now I think Leeds play Tottenham next, and the way they played and the way Tottenham are playing at the moment, I think Leeds could perhaps get something against Tottenham. I said earlier we need to stay up in goal difference. Yeah, that may be just it. Depending if we get something within these next two matches, we'll see goal difference. But I think, like I said, with the last match against West Ham, if we get 3 points from Liverpool or Newcastle, or just a point, I think West Ham will certainly do us some good and try to give us that win on the final day. Sally Lee's looking better too. Yeah, how a team that's just been dreadful, I think worse than we've been playing, but the way they showed up against Newcastle was just pride, passion, wanting to keep the team up, and players that we have, certainly we have better players, but it just looks like they don't really care anymore. They know they're going to leave at the end of the summer if we go down. So yeah. Lee's done a lot and doesn't deserve us. Yes, I totally agree, but I wish he would actually show that. If he's going to leave, then certainly leave on a good note. Show that you care about this club and want to leave on good terms. Don't just underperform in your last remaining matches and then leave us, in the relegation or in the championship, and while you head off to a different club and stay in the Premier League. But yeah, going into the lineups or the table at the moment. Give me one sec. Let me just show you. Take away this banner. All right. So going into the table right now, currently we are sitting in 19th place. Southampton already relegated. Even they showed some compassion against Fulham. Fulham didn't easily get those 3 points, at least not in the first half. Like we gave them the goals. We're sitting with 30 points. Southampton 24, they're gone. Leeds 31, Everton 32. So let's say Everton lose today against Man City. We beat Liverpool. We go up to 17th place, while 16th looks like a far reach with 34 points. Looking into the comments. Give me 1 second. Should it be Everton? Yeah. Those games would have got us 2 more points, 4 points. So yeah, we would have been up here. We would have been right here in probably 16th place if we were to beat Everton and Leeds. Yeah, it's just sad to see what the other results, what they should have been, and where we could have been. Not just Leeds, not just Everton, but like I said, against the match against Bournemouth, Southampton, we didn't even get 3 points off those 2 matches we had during this season. Home and away. We lost at home against Southampton. Crazy if Warriors scored the pen, we would have lost 5-4. Yeah, if we're going to lose and we're going to try and go for goal difference at the end of the season to try and have some hope, we still need to get some points. We cannot lose by that much, or at least as it was in the first half against Fulham. But yeah, that's where we stand right now. If we get a win, we go to 30 to 33 and go to 17th place, while Everton Leeds drop. And just looking at Leeds, what they have in their next or their final remaining 2 matches, they have West Ham and Spurs. Well, we know that West Ham have a Conference League game on Thursday. Certainly trying to put all their starters for that match and go to the final. Now, would that mean would they rest their players the following couple of days, which will be that weekend? Will they rest their players that weekend because we know West Ham's already safe against Leeds, and then the final day, Leeds against Spurs over at Ellen Road. Spurs not, like I said, not doing well. They lost against Aston Villa. Not really doing well away. Could that be honestly the big surprise? Leeds getting a victory at Ellen Road on the final match day when we need them to not get anything. If that's the case, then we have to win our next two matches and get 36 points before Championship Sunday. But going into the other teams, off into Everton, we see, like we know today, they're playing Man City. Wait. Results, fixtures. So yes, Man City, Wolves, and then Bournemouth. I'll have to see how this match plays out against Man City today, and I'll determine whether playing away against Wolves will be a loss for them. But at this point, the way they were able to defeat Brighton 5-1 away was quite surprising and quite a big hit for us. Against Wolves, Bournemouth, I want to say, just looking at it now, playing home against Bournemouth away. Playing home against Bournemouth on the final day, that looks more like a victory for them. We're gonna have to get these next 6 points in our next two matches, because I think Everton and Bournemouth, that's looking much more likely for a victory for Everton, and to play that game, whether they'll win or not, or hope they lose on the final day, that's going to be tough. Wow, I did not realize that, and looking at it now, that kind of makes me much more nervous for tomorrow. But let's say Forest drop, points these next two matches for them. Let's see who they play to see, whether that's possible or not. They play Arsenal. God, if Arsenal drop points against Forest, I'm going to be really, really surprised. Really surprised and really annoyed. All that hype for Arsenal to drop points against Forest. And then Crystal Palace. Okay, so looking at those matches, Palace doing well. Honestly, a good team. Arsenal, you expect them to win. So let's say Forest lose their last two remaining matches. They remain at the end of the season with 34 points, and we get somehow 6 points within these next two matches, or next three matches. That will put us at 36, leaving Forest and Leeds down. Leaving Forest and Leeds down. I'd say get maybe 3 more points in their last two remaining matches. Everton, I want to say they have a chance of going to 35. So that's going to be tough. That will be tough. We need 36 points. I think, I just don't see. I see Forest likely losing their last two matches. Everton, I don't see that happening, and Leeds, I see them gaining 1 point. So I think if we were to depend on just 3 more points for us, and going to 17th place while Everton and Leeds stay in 18th and 19th, and they just lose the remaining fixtures or last two matches, I don't see that happening. So we can't be dependent on just 3 more points. We need 34, and that's just with the slightest bit of luck to stay safe. But we need to move for 36. And yeah, that's going to be really, really hard. But anyways, going into the lineup, what I want to see tomorrow, like I said, some players against Leeds or against Fulham that played didn't show any passion, any motivation to keep us going, to stay alive in this Premier League season. So this is my starting lineup. We go with the 4-2-3-1. As we still know, Kelechi Iheanacho is not available. Presumably, hopefully, he'll be available for the last 2 matches against Newcastle and West Ham. If we beat Liverpool, then certainly, without a doubt, I'll have much more confidence with Kelechi Iheanacho being available against Newcastle and perhaps us getting something out of it. That will be Everson at goal, back 4, Christensen, Fast. Let me just put that there. So Christensen, Soyuncu, Fast, and Castagna the back 4. Suter. People have been saying, why isn't he playing? He's a good defender, but the pace is just kind of bringing him back. And against teams like Liverpool that have very fast players like Salah, Gepko, Darwin Núñez, Robertson, players that love those through balls, I don't think he'll keep up with those runs. And then the defensive midfield will have Tielemans on the right and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall on the left. I wouldn't put Samore because in the last match against Fulham, he lost the ball, didn't even come back. There's times where he needs to run back, where he doesn't run back. And I don't want to make that risk. I don't want to rate that risk. Going into the comments here. Christensen not doing a lot. Yeah, but yeah, I agree. There are times where he just isn't playing with his head. Sometimes he's just playing recklessly, as far as not doing much either, causing fouls. But right now, compared to the players that we have, him and Thomas, Christensen is obviously the better player. Spurs will not let us down. They always do. And Spurs will let us down. They always do. And West Ham aren't doing great. Hopefully, both of them do something, and that will help us a lot. Daka, at this point, I'd keep him for the championship if we go down. But he needs to play with someone up top with him in order to be effective, I think. Or play on the left wing with Kelechi Iheanacho on the pitch. But playing alone, I don't think he's as effective. So, if I were to rate him, I'd say I'd give him like a 6 or 7 out of 10 when it comes to playing alone. Now with someone else like Kelechi Iheanacho or Vardy, he's somewhere between 8. It makes me sad looking where we've come and now where we are. Yeah, playing in the playing in Premier League over the past couple of years, FA Cup winners, Community Shield winners. We've done so much, and it's been sad how we've really been at this situation now. I know in previous seasons where I'd be really upset that we didn't finish off in the top 4. We missed top 4 twice. And now we realize, what we have, or you don't realize what you have until, you lose it. And that's our status in the Premier League. I've never wanted to stay in the Premier League so much before that, I think now, whether we stay up or not, I will cherish our status in the Premier League so much more then, no longer caring whether we finish top 4 or top 5. Certainly I want us to finish in those areas, but if that doesn't happen, then I certainly will look back at this moment and obviously remind myself that, the Premier League is staying in it is much more valuable, in terms of the progression of the club, whether, the players that we have stay or go. And just, I don't know what the outcome will be, whether we go down, what's going to happen with our players. Certainly we'll lose a handful amount of players, but will we get a team to try and fight back for the next season to get promoted back into the Premier League? That's the question. Villa, Jaime, can see you going down, sadly. Yeah, it's going to be it's becoming much more impossible now to stay up. A miracle will have to happen based on how we've been playing. A miracle will have to happen tomorrow against Liverpool. Daka tries, unlike the rest of your players. Yes, I think that too. Yeah, with passion, I think Daka does try. Samore just hasn't been really trying, or at least not being that consistent. But yeah, going into the remaining spots of my starting 11, what I want to see, as you see here, Kieran Newsbury Hall. As much as people say he loses the ball, he has that passion to run, and he's shown that multiple times. Yes, he may be not at his best moments, but he will run for you. He will run back. He will fight for the club, unlike other midfielders who haven't been showing that and have been just occupying space, and just it hasn't been helping us and has been making us concede goals. Tielemans, I don't know. I don't know how to rate him at this point. He has scored goals, so that kind of backs him up on how he's been doing this season. Tete, I don't see him staying, whether we stay up or not. Has his moments. Hopefully he has a moment tomorrow, but I think based on who we have available, we need to have him play. Madison needs to play his position. He can't play on the right side. We can't just, experiment and hope for the best. Pratt just isn't cutting it. He played the right spot last time, isn't cutting it. Barnes has been in discussions lately with him apparently leaving in the summer. But at the moment, he's the best winger we have, left winger we have at the moment, and there's no one else that can really replace him. If we stay up, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't feel bad whether he left or if Madison left. So right now it's all about just staying up and then seeing what happens at the summer. We'll see what happens. But Vardy, of course, up top. We don't have Kelechi Iheanacho. We don't have we can't put both Daka and Vardy because that leaves us with no striker for the second half. So yeah, I think and also Vardy knows how to play against Liverpool. Vardy knows how to score against Liverpool, knows how to work around there. But hopefully, I think this is the best or the strongest starting lineup that we could possibly go with against Liverpool tomorrow. Let me know your opinions. Leave it all in the chat or comment section below. You guys need Lookman back, but you can't afford him. Yeah, that was a big blow. Honestly, Lookman was presumably the second best to Mahrez in finding a replacement, for that right wing position. Even though he's a left winger, he still played like a right winger, or he played like he has been playing like a right winger all his time playing football. Yeah, we still have some Fofana money. I'm not sure, but certainly now, depending on whether we stay or not, that will determine whether we have money or not. We'll see. My opinion, your club should pay back all those fans who have traveled so far and paid. Yeah, it's going to be, honestly, it's a big blow, and it's a big slap in the face from the board, from Kuhn Top. They had, that decision to sack Rodgers much more earlier, many more chances, many more games. The match against Spurs where we lost 6-2, that was his moment. Or against Brighton, that was his time for Rodgers to go, and the board didn't do anything. So if there's anyone to blame, it's them, and they have to accept that. But yeah, now as a fan, but obviously I've gone for 2-0 Liverpool. At this rate, like I said, Liverpool have been undefeated since April, since the 1st of April. And coming to the KP, playing how they play now, it's only logical, even there's no logic in football, but on paper, it's only, much more certain that Liverpool will be winning. I hope not, but can't see you guys scoring. Liverpool defense is brilliant. Yeah, we'll just have to see. Honestly, I have no, I have the slightest hope of us getting 3 points. The slightest hope. If we were to demonstrate something against Fulham last week, then certainly maybe I had a little bit more hope. But we just were awful against Fulham. We showed nothing. We showed no fight, nothing, and that kind of shows us now that we don't know whether to be hopeful or just already accept our relegation spot. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this pre-match review against Liverpool tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time. Let me know your thoughts, predictions, anything about this match. Leave it all in the comment section below. And of course, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time for the post-match review, which will be right after the match tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And hopefully, we get something out of this match. 3 points, honestly, will do us wonders. And we'll have to see what happens today between Everton and Man City. But, man, that will be quite something if we beat Liverpool and Everton lose today. A big game changer, but like I said, we all have to see. All right, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.